Okay, uh, today let us learn chapter 22 from your social science civics. Well, uh, before we go into the details of this very lesson, let us learn together some of the important words because these words will definitely appear in this very lesson. Alright, the first one is flagship program. Flagship program means most important programs of the government on national concerns like health, education, gender equality, etc. Okay, programs of the government. Second one is retailer. Retailer means a trader who sells goods directly to customers. Okay, retailer. I think we see so many retail shops in our area. A stereotype. A person who is regarded as embodying or conforming to a set of image or type. Understand? A person who is not real him, who try to conform to a set of image or a type. That is what we call as stereotype. Economic value, the measurement of the benefits derived from service to an individual. That is what we call as economic value, benefits derived from service. Okay. Harassment, ill behavior towards a person. It's not a good thing, is it not? That causes mental or emotional sufferings. Exploitation means the act of treating people unfairly, okay, in order to benefit from their efforts. That is what we call exploitation. The government of India, okay, abolished this exploitation, right against exploitation. Well, let us straight away go to gender inequality. What is gender inequality? From this very picture itself, you will be able to see inequality. Inequality means not equal, right? Gender, man, women. No. So gender inequality refers to distinction between man and women, and inequality are meted out in different fields. Okay, so because of this distinction, man and woman inequality are resulted or meted out in many fields, in the workplace, okay, in the schools, even in market, and even in the societies. This is what we call as gender inequality. I'm sure you have got some of the idea about what a gender inequality is. Do not. From the picture itself, you can see the balance. This is man and this is a woman. Okay, you can see the differences in the balance. All right. So even from this picture, you can see ladder, both man and woman, they are climbing up this ladder. In case of this women, all the steps in this ladder are missing, you know. So she's really going to have a difficulty in climbing up to the top of this ladder. Whereas man, if you see the ladder of this man, you'll be able to find all the steps here. Even if he climb up on the top of this ladder, it will be very easy for him to climb up on the top of this ladder. So it really depicts, it clearly shows the differences between man and woman. On the other hand, there is a gender inequality, right? Another picture, all of them, man, women, everyone is going to have a race in a track. So if you look at the track of this man, all the tracks are clear. It's clean. They can run very easily without any disturbances. But in case of these women, in front of them, so many items, so many things are, so to say, spread around. You can see a drying clothes here, washing machines, uh, iron, a gas stove. Even here you will be able to see a tub for washing clothes and all. Everything is in front of them. Okay, It's very difficult for them to run on that very track. Whereas man, very clean, they will run it very. So this depicts the gender inequality in our society especially. All right. So gender inequality, so many inequalities, so many unequal things happens, discrimination, even in the office, salary, all right, payments, okay, even their rights. So from this picture, from this monogram, you will be able to state so many things in case of this gender inequality. All right. So even in the history, if we trace back the history of India, especially during the time of medieval period, these women, they they had a lot of hardships. Okay, one of the problem among the Hindu society was, especially during the Rajput regime. I think we have already studied about Rajput society, Rajput kings in the medieval period, isn't it? So the satida or sati system was practiced. Okay, satida, it refers to forceful cremation of young and old women with the dead bodies of their husbands. The women have nothing to do with the dead body actually. They're not. But because of their custom, because of their culture, she have to die along with the dead body of their husbands. So this is very unfair. Do not. So this type of cultural practices were there, especially during the time of medieval India. So it started inequality, gender inequality have already started even in our history. Another problem is Purdah system. Purdah system is a customary practice in Muslim, among the Muslims, as well as in some Hindu societies, okay, in which women are to remain cover their faces. What? Women are to remain cover their faces. Not only faces, the bodies, to avoid being seen by the strangers. Okay, I'm sure this would be very helpful, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, because they have to cover all their bodies with a so to say with a veil or with a clothes or something like that. They don't need face masks and all. Do not. Women are supposed, but in reality, this is a discriminatory practices. Okay, it has been discriminated. Right. What about men? Men have to walk free. They're not to cover anything. Okay. So likewise, this Purdah system, it was a practice among the Muslim, even in the history, currently at present, this is a part of their custom. Okay. So these have been started in the history. And currently or in the past, the Meiteis, they celebrate the Swasti Puja and Nahutpa or even birthday of their sons, while their daughters most of the time remain uncelebrated. So there is a discrimination. They value their sons, male gender, right? Whereas the daughters or the women, they were considered as an inferior class, I should say. Okay, so these things also happens, not exactly maybe this Swasti Puja or Nahutpa, I'm not referring to that exactly, but these type of things, this type of inequality have all the crop in our society. That's what I want to make sure. Okay, I want to be very clear about that. All right, and then to be very frank, in fact, there is no biological differences between man and woman. Do not? Biologically, they don't have any differences. Okay? Men, they need proteins. They need all the ingredients, food, do not, clothes, whatever. Even same as the women too. So, gender is created by society, not by nature. Nature have nothing to do with this, but we have to blame to our society as a whole for creating differences or inequality between man and woman. All right. So, but naturally they are equal. Okay. Religiously speaking, both man and woman have been created by God to respect each other, is it not? And also to treat equally with each other. But our society, okay, they have inequality. Women are viewed differently by different societies, is it not? Even among the Hindu society, among the Christian society, among the Muslim society, or many other societies, because of their culture, because of their custom, right? So we as a student and we as a good citizens of India, we must be aware of all this, and we must try to bring equality among the gender, both man and woman. Okay, so these things, these inequality have started right from a very young age. Just take an example, boys are given guns, cars, etc. to play with, as a toy, while girls are given the dolls. So even from the very young age, the treatment of this gender, boys and girls, started from the very young age. Toys become a way of telling the children that they will have different futures. Is it not so? So in that way, right from the very young age, there is a different treatment between boys and girls. Girls are girls are taught to talk softly and the way to dress themselves. No, no. You must dress this. You must talk like this. So all these things have been taught to the girls. Whereas to the boys, they are taught to be tough. Okay. They are to be manly, not to cry. You know. So all these things, all these differences, even in their brought up in our society, there were some differences among the genders. This is what we call as gender inequality. So I'm sure you have got some idea about this gender inequality, right? So even among the government, they're working hard. Okay, they are very serious about gender inequality. So under right to privacy, okay, it is a part of right to equality. India recognizes even the transgender as a third gender or as a third sex or whatever. Okay, I think even in Manipur, transgender refers to individual who transgress the gender norms. They are neither man nor women, isn't it? Okay, but they existed as a third gender. So we have to respect them, and even the government recognize them as a human being. Okay, they have been given opportunities in many fields. Even in Manipur, we have the first transgender doctor. No? So, and not only that, under the, so to say, Prime Ministership, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 22nd January 2015, as a part of Beti Bachao, Beti Badhao campaign, okay, which means save girl child, educate a girl child. He launched a program which is known as Sukanya Samriddhi account. Let us repeat once again. Sukanya Samriddhi account or Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. Okay, actually girl child prosperity, which means account, is a flagship program in order to encourage, okay, or in order to save girl child. One of the reason is in India, okay, in India many girls, they have been, okay, eliminated, they have been killed, so I should say, right, during the time of the birth. Understand? So because of that, in order to encourage a girl child, this Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he has launched this type of program, okay, in order to encourage the girl child. This basically this Sukanya Samriddhi account is a bank account or is a small saving scheme for girl child so that she can use it when she grows up. Okay, grows up for education as well as for marriage purposes and all. All right. So for today, Let us try to do only up to here. Next class we will try to continue with this unpacking gender or understanding gender. Alright, so I wish you should learn all the notes from the study materials which I have sent you in your WhatsApp group. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, may God bless you. Thank you so much for participating in this learning.